Welcome back to Outdoors with Larry Ray, brought to you proudly by Tennessee Wildlife Resource Agency, Barton Power Sports, Sportsman's Warehouse, and Best Care Home Services.
Hey, welcome back to Outdoors with Larry Ray. As we talk on this first Saturday in July, my voice is still hanging in there. I can't get rid of this stuff. It's called Memphis in July.
Memphis in July.
Yes, and I think there was a song about that. And, of course,
it's probably lingering carryover from the FedEx tournament here.
I didn't go.
Yeah.
That's probably why it is, but it's hot. But anyway, that's Dave Gabbert. Dave Gabbert is in with us as he is on the first Saturday
Former
month.
Minister of Propaganda.
Yeah, former Minister of Propaganda for the Tennessee Wildlife Resources Agency. Now, we didn't let them know that you're retired. You know,
I tell people I really didn't retire, just changed jobs.
Just changed jobs.
Yeah, getting caught up on all that stuff.
And, of course, we've got the one and only Gene Smith over there, our hunter education guru.
Good morning.
Back to back with Gene from last week. And, again, we've called in my interpreter on fishing to help me out during this segment, as we earlier talked, which I thought was two great segments, with Mark Daniels and Ish Monroe, the first African-Americans to win back-to-back tournaments in the 50-year history of the BASS. And now we're going to switch gears, and Ron will slip in here with us as we talk to a young man who's
back-to-back wins.
Yes, a young man that won back-to-back.
You know, rumor has it that Ron's so into fish he wears hush puppies.
Ron eats hush puppies and makes the best hush puppies.
Probably wears them, too.
Listen to that. All right. Hey, we're really happy. It's taken an act of Congress to find him and catch up with him, but, you can hide out when you're from over there in Rockwood, Tennessee, and East Tennessee, and Eagle Furnace community of Rockwood, where he grew up, and that's the pro bass angler himself, the man who won back-to-back tournaments earlier this year, and that's Wesley Strader. Good morning, Wesley.
Good morning, guys. How are you doing?
Oh, we're doing great over here in Memphis, buddy. I know that I've been looking forward to talking to you after the back-to-back, and I was really you've got an interesting story on where you got to be in your career. Briefly tell our listeners after. You got a lot of fans over here in the Memphis area, and Ron Wong will agree with that.
And I'm one of them.
Yeah, we're all, whether it's Facebook, the live interviews, and things along that line. And Wesley was talking about being a hillbilly, and well, you're a pretty good hillbilly, buddy. But tell our listeners how you got to be where you are right now.
Oh man, I just grew up one of those kids that just loved the outdoors. I was fortunate enough to have a grandfather and a father they just epitomized the outdoors, and I tagged along with them every step of the way, and that's really all I wanted to do, was just to be outdoors. And I just dreamed about the next fish I could catch. It didn't really matter if it was bass or not, but I just always was intrigued by fish, catching fish, or just being in the outdoors, hunting and trapping and all of that. And I was fortunate enough to have a grandfather. I always call it being woods wise, but he taught me the ways of certain things in nature to look for, or how it reacts and responds to this one, and how everything just corresponds to one another, how it goes through the whole year, how it transpires from winter to summer to fall back into winter and all that. And, I grew up just a kid that had a dream, and a lot of people think I just started fishing, and that was it. But actually I worked for TVA for a while as a highline lineman. I done the things that I need to do to get me to where I'm at in my career now. And, people always think, it's just easy, like it just come easy.
No.
But it didn't, you just, you do what you got to do. I beat nails. I drove bulldozers. I done everything that I need to do to try to help me to get to where I need to be in life. And, I had a good supportive family and all that. So, fortunate enough, 20 years later, a 20-year career, I'm still here and
look at that,
doing what I love to do, and ask the good Lord to bless me just be able to make a living fishing. That's what I wanted, and that's what He's provided me with.
Well, tell the listeners why you quit the TVA job.
Well, I had a near fatal accident, and
you did, yeah,
in Ringgold, Georgia. About got 161,000 volts flew in on me, and man, that makes a guy reevaluate life. What's really important,
doesn't it? Really? Yeah.
Yeah, and I came in one day. It really, I mean, as anybody was expected to bother you. And,
well, sure.
And
yeah.
I came in and I had to talk with my dad. I said, Dad, look, I said, I about got killed today at work. I said, I don't know how I didn't, but I didn't. And he said, Wes, I'm going to tell you one. He said, at the time, he's in his 40s. And he said, I'm 40-something years old. He said, I'm going to tell you this. Life's too short to be unhappy.
That's right.
And he said, if you want to make a living fishing, he said, the only thing I'm going to tell you is, he said, you go for it right now while you're young. And he said, put all your efforts and energy into it. And he said, if you don't make it, you can at least say you tried. And he said, and if you do make it, then you made it. He said, but don't have no regrets. He said that
Amen.
Life's too short to have regrets. And he said, so that week I went in, quit my job, and here I am 20 years later.
Isn't that amazing? And again, we're talking to Wesley Strader. And Wesley, I know that 20 years ago, it probably seems like yesterday to you.
It seems like last week.
It does, doesn't it? It really does, doesn't it? But I'm looking at some of this, and and I got some statistics here. 38 tournaments, times in the money 26. That's a pretty good deal right there. 26 out of 38. But talk about the back-to-back, and then Ron will ask you about all your techniques and how you catch fish and things along that line. But talk about winning back-to-back.
Well, it's the times that you don't win that really appreciate the times that you do, because there's a lot more lows in this sport than there are highs.
There is that, yes. Yeah.
It's just the way it worked out, the way it's set up at Kentucky Lake. I won Kentucky Lake first,
Yeah.
In May, I can't even remember the dates of it now.
May 4th through 7th, okay.
May the 4th through the 7th, I won it, and it just, the water was high. It had a lot of rain, and, I grew up on the Tennessee River, and kind of knew what to expect, what was going to happen, but it was just keeping an open mind and not really relying on one bait. Is just, going with the flow each day and changing up. A lot of those guys locked into using one bait, and, the water levels were changing, the conditions were changing. There's a lot of different things going on, but I just adapted every day real well and was fortunate enough to win that event. And lo and behold, I left there and went straight to Cornelius, North Carolina, and on Lake Norman. And, I had like a whole 7 hours of practice, I think it was, and I just happened to roll up on a spot, and I actually caught them on the spinnerbait that I caught them on at Kentucky Lake, one of the baits I caught them on at Kentucky Lake. So I just real fortunate and blessed. I mean, that just doesn't happen every day or hardly ever. So it was just one of those things that just, the stars, moon, sun, it all lined up, and it really worked out.
You sound like our friend Mark Rose when he won back-to-back and said, that just doesn't happen. And bingo, here comes Wesley and comes around and does this. And Ron, talk about because he won it both on the same spinnerbait. Is that
the exact same spinnerbait?
Is that not unusual, Ron? I mean,
well, it's two different kinds of lake too.
Yeah,
Norman is a much clearer lake than Kentucky Lake was at the time, and different water conditions. I mean, you were throwing at bushes at Kentucky Lake, you're throwing at boathouses on Norman, right?
Oh, actually, at Norman, I ran way up the river, and I found some stained water and found current.
Wow.
They was running water out from under, I think it's called Shoals Lake. I can't really remember the lake above Norman, but, it's kind of like being back at the house fishing the tailwater races, current, just looking for current seams and all that. So that's how that worked out at Norman.
Wesley, you can't do this just by yourself. You're talking earlier, you were willing to switch up a lot of baits. And, the first day there, I think I spent the whole morning following you around.
Yeah, you were there.
And you were constantly going up and down, changing rods, changing baits to every target that you were going through and fishing there. But one of the things that was constant was your reel. You used the same type of reel the whole time, didn't you?
Yeah.
I mean, different gear ratios.
That's one of the things I've always done, through my career is unless it's some really specific technique. But I like I was using a Lew's Magnesium 6.8
Oh,
to 1.
yeah. Yeah.
Pretty much the same reel I got on every rod.
Uh-huh.
And that way I can either adjust my wind. I can either speed up or slow down, but I know what my gear ratio is at all times. I don't have to guess at it. So that's one of the reasons why I do it. And I'm trying to keep all my rods the same, the same, let's say the same brand rod. I don't like having a different model rod, like, say, with PAL. I don't like having an Inferno versus an Endurance. I like just all Endurance. It changes the feel in your hand, so I try to keep that constant too.
Well, that's a long. That's a long way from that 14-foot aluminum boat, too, right? So.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I've got a question for Wesley.
Here comes a question from the field.
I'm always curious. How often do you change your line on your reels?
It depends. It depends on where we're at and what we're doing. If we're somewhere where, say we're somewhere where it's, I'm winding through a lot of grass or a lot of trees or something, getting a lot of, stressing the line out a little bit, I'll change it after that event. But sometimes I'll go to events with the same line on the reel. But the way it is anymore, the events from one event to the next, we switch up and go to a totally different kind of fishery or a different body of water. So I'm having to either downsize my line or maybe even, go up a size weight in my line. So most time, there's very seldom I get to use it 2 tournaments in a row. I usually switch it out between tournaments.
Well, you're getting ready, as Ron will know. I guess you're heading to the St. Lawrence River, right? I mean,
after ICAST.
Chesapeake Bay.
Oh, you got ICAST. You're going to ICAST, I guess.
Yeah, going to ICAST, and then we'll go to Chesapeake Bay.
Chesapeake Bay. Okay, all right. So when Ron,
Wesley,
you got one question.
Wesley, yeah, I got one more question. Wesley, you got a lot of great sponsors.
Oh,
but more importantly, I think you have a wonderful, wonderful wife that is so behind you, so supportive, and does so much to help you be successful. Stephanie is a one-of-a-kind. Tell our listeners how important is it to have a spouse like that.
Show. She just does that for the camera and all. She's
really we're going to make sure she gets
I'm going to tell her what you said.
Oh, no, we're going to send her a copy of this show. I mean,
she just does it for the recognition.
Yeah, I mean,
that's it. She's all in for the fame. That's it.
No, you guys have just been married, if I'm not mistaken, not long before your accident, right? I mean, y'all were.
We had been married about 4 or 5 months.
Yeah, so she's been there for you. I mean, really.
Yeah, she's hung in there for the long haul. She's probably the best woman I probably could ever.
Yes, that's right. God's been good to you, Wesley.
To have her
instead
of somebody else, she's real supportive. She handles the business end of it too. She's a tough business lady.
You need that. You need that, man.
Yeah.
You need that.
Only thing better, can she tune an outboard motor?
Well, she don't have to worry about that.
Hey, she backs them in.
She can tune a lot of things, but I don't know about no outboard.
Hey, Wes.
I've seen her put him in the morning, and I've seen her in the afternoon to take him out, and when the tournament is over.
Well,
she's waiting there with the truck.
Well, you got a good one there, Wes.
She can probably back a boat trailer better than most men in this country.
Well, better than me.
Right.
I know that for a fact. Hey, Wesley, thank you, buddy. I know it took a while to get you, but we're going to have you back on later on. Congratulations on your year, and keep rolling, and we'll stay in touch, okay?
All right. Thank you, guys. You can have the rest of your Saturday. Hope you have a good one.
Thank you, Wesley. All right, let's take a break. Ron's going to step on out of here. Thank you, Ron, for your help, and we'll see you next. We won't see you next week, but Ron will be. And tell them where you'll be next week.
I'm going to be at ICAST, so check out lroutdoors.com for some pictures of new products that are going to be coming out for 2019.
All right, you folks down there, that's in Orlando, right? Or is that
Orlando?
Yeah. Oh, I hope they're ready for you, Ron. Okay. All right. All right, buddy. We'll talk to you. Let's take a break. Be right back. And Outdoors with Larry Ray.